I just wanted you guys to get a better complexion of me and just to see me a little bit better. All right. All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to my podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you are new here, hi, my name is Chaida. I'm a Black conservative commentator and writer. And this is my podcast where I discuss relevant issues surrounding people, society, culture, and politics. I am so thankful for you guys. I am feeling super pumped because we have just surpassed 50 subscribers. 50 of you guys are so invested in not just me, but the stories and issues that I have to share. And I'm so excited for where this channel goes and where my podcast go because I know some of you guys listen on Facebook, most of you guys like to watch on Facebook, which I do have a this is Her America Facebook channel, which you guys should check out. The link is down below. And I'm also on Spotify. And I know a fraction of you guys only like to listen to me on podcast-based channels, and Spotify is one of those. But I'm really happy I'm really proud of my YouTube family because they've shown me that if I put my mind to it, I can really help shape some of the cultural and societal issues that we have going on in America. So, with that being said, thank you for so much for you guys. I like the love that you guys have shown me in the last couple of weeks have just been really amazing, and that's why I am doing this, and I will still continue to do this even if the next year I only stay at 50 subscribers. That is fine with me because I am I am not done. I am not over sharing the issues and sharing things that are happening in America. And I think more of us need to speak out on it. And I'm glad. And for some of you guys feel empowered through me. And that's enough for me to keep going and keep up the good work. So thank you guys. And also thank you to the Lord. I've really tried my best for the past couple of weeks to keep my relationship with God based on clarity. And that's one of the things that I struggle for years is clarity and being of sober mind and seeking truth. And I really want this podcast to be about consistently seeking the truth because there's no point in doing all of this if at the end of it gain everything but not the Lord. And the Lord is my compass in all of this. So yeah, thank you so much. All right. Welcome to a new series where we take a real look at the Black leaders who have shaped our politics, for better or for worse. In this series, we are breaking down the policies, the promises, and the patterns. No spin, no guilt, no fear, just facts, history, receipts, and real talk from a Black conservative woman who has lived the results, not just the rhetoric. Why am I doing this? Because I love America and I love Black America. And real love means tough love. Real love means asking for your community, means asking the hard questions. Real progress requires accountability, and real independence starts when we stop letting political parties think they own our minds and our vote. So, this new series is called Chaida versus Black Politics. All right, but in this episode, we are focusing on the one and only Congressional Representative Jasmine Crockett. But before we get rolled right into that, I'm going to share a scripture in Proverbs, and you can find it in chapter 31. Chapter 31. Yeah, chapter 31 and verse 12. It says, "She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life." That's it. Short and sweet. That's how I like my scripture. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. When, as a woman, I I always want to make sure that even though I'm not particularly in a relationship, I want to make sure that I'm always building investment. And what does that mean? I want to look at where I am personally, like what my life looks like, where I can grow in certain areas, whether it's that employment, finances, education, spirituality, emotional, mental health, anything of that sort. And also what I'm bringing into the community, because it's not just enough for me to just strive and be well in my own personal life, but I also want to be able to give back and give back to the community, and not only that, bring good work and not just have good intentions. Have you ever heard of the expression, the good intentions, the the road to hell is paved with good intentions? And that is very indignant, because when we look at our political leaders, are they a lot of them have such good intentions, but we all know that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. We need to look at good works, because good deeds, and that's like another part of of that expression, is that good deeds does wonder. And we want to make sure that our politicians, our political leaders, because at the end of the day, they all are civil servants and they have an obligation to serve us and not the other way around. And so if they're always bringing more harm all the days of their life, then that's no good. And good deeds come with bring glory to the Lord first, and also looking towards serving people and not serving yourself. And that's why I kind of find Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett a little bit deceiving and disingenuous. Let's break down her history. And many of you guys may know, if you're watching this, may know who Jasmine Crockett is and very familiar with her background. But for those who don't know, Jasmine Crockett basically grew up in Texas. And she basically, and maybe that could be wrong, sorry. And she grew up in mainly going to private Catholic schools. And her father was a pastor in a church. She went on to go to Rhodes College and earn her bachelor's in business administration. And then she later on went to the University of Houston and got her JD. And obviously, she received her JD. She worked as a defense attorney in a county with a family organization. And back in 2020, she ran for the state seat in the House of Representative in Texas, and she won that. And then going forward in 2022, she ran for the 3rd Congressional District for Texas with the endorsement of Bernice Johnson. And that's how, from that point forward, that is how Jasmine Crockett became to be the woman and that's how she became a mainstream media. Like she barely, once she went to Congress, she just decided to go all out. So why do I find Jasmine Crockett disingenuous? Because she puts on this very ghetto hood rat persona, because she's trying to appeal to people, mainly Black women and Black culture entirely. See, this is not a woman who grew up in the hood per se. She grew up very wealthy. She obviously has a history, an educational history of just going to top premier top peer schools, and even became successful going to college and getting her JD. So this woman who's very educated, why does she feel like she needs to debase herself to appeal to low level individuals? Because nothing about her background, nothing about the way that she will probably raised on values, on Christian values, concerning that her father is a pastor, that should appeal to the Black community. And when we look at Black America today, what do we see going on? We got rioting, we got looting stores, we got women going on social media talking about how they're proudly a mama to 3 babies and 3 baby daddies, and they're always collecting the checks, the child support, and making sure leaning on daddy government to help them out with food stamps and Section 8 housing. And it's just really just trashy, more hood rat, more ghetto persuasion. And with Jasmine Crockett, she didn't grow up like this. This is not her path. This is not even her life. But she has decided to stoop low and decided to put on this ghetto Black woman facade because she knows it's going to get her attention. One of the things that really stood out to me and really made me look at her a certain way is when this infamous clip came up of her being somewhere in DC, and she was intervened by this a journalist, and the journalist had a camera with him and he was filming her, and the video shows her, grabbing the camera, just grabbing it. And if I find a clip, I'm going to share it. But yeah, just grabbing the camera off out of his hand, and that made me realize that she's no good. She's no good. Her policies suck. She's very anti school choice, which based on her history, she benefited from school choice efforts. Maybe her parents were able to have the affordability to able to put her in private schools. And a lot of families do not have that affordability. But school choice allows them to break out of districts that have poor educational systems and put their kids into programs that will specialize towards their needs and educational pursuits. And when we look at Jasmine Crockett, she's also pro legal immigration. She supports illegal immigrants more than she supports Americans, and more importantly, her constituents. And if you look down in Texas, they're a very anti-illegal immigrant state. They're not a sanctuary state. They don't sanctuary state as a whole. And so for her to be taking this stance, it shows that she is not in touch with her constituents. And so with that being said, Jasmine Crockett, she's also very anti-capitalism, which when you look at her history, she benefits from capitalism. Besides being in Congress, she also holds many stock trades and stock investments that she did not disclose when going into office as Congresswoman, but she did disclose when she was in the state house in Texas. So Jasmine Crockett, she has a net worth that's very higher, very much more than her congressional salary. And she's also bought by George Soros, which we all know is a very pro-leftist propaganda socialist billionaire that funds all these different networks and politicians because he's trying to push an agenda to make sure that America heads towards somewhere like a third world country. And Jasmine Crockett, she's very much connected. She has she's very well connected in the pro-leftist socialist media space and such networks. That's why when she comes out and does the things that she does, she's being very disingenuous because she's trying to portray herself as like some ghetto hoodrat congresswoman who's down with the cause, but at the same time is kicking back on stock trades and advancements and really elevating herself. And that's why a lot of politicians don't get the respect that they get, is because they're not in the mindset of serving people. And you have to be in a mindset of serving people. You have to politics is not a get rich quick scheme, but it's, for a lot of these politicians, it is a get rich quick scheme. They run on very good causes, and they're doing backroom deals with different agencies, lobbyists, giants in different industries across America, and they can't even fulfill the promises that they made to their constituents because they are in cahoots with big giants in DC and in anywhere in America when it comes to politics. So there's no money in politics. The only money you get is through fundraising, and if you win office, the salary that you make being holding office, and so on and so forth. But for a lot of these politicians like Jasmine Crockett, she's worth a lot more than her congressional salary, is because she's taking investment and she's not disclosing that. So she's all for this capitalistic lifestyle, but doesn't want you, the everyday American, to benefit from it. So with that being said, it's just been, she's also, Jasmine Crockett, a couple of days ago, revealed that she's going to run for the Senate seat because she has been drawn out of her district, and that she'll be potentially, will most likely be losing her congressional seat. And so that's why she's running for a Senate. And even so, a lot of spectators said that she will most likely get the Democratic nominee, but she will most likely lose the Senate race altogether. And because Texas, she isn't in touch with the everyday Texans. She's very much anti any value that Texans hold near and dear to heart. And what do we know about Texans? They're big on guns. They're big on the illegal immigration, meaning that they want to downsize illegal immigration down to a zero. They're very big on faith, and they're very big on capitalism. And so all of these things that are not in Jasmine Crockett's wheelhouse. So it's really going to be interesting watching her do debates and go further in this race, because it's really going to show a lot of people what a weak leader she is going to be. That she is, indefinitely. So yes, so if there's anything that you guys should take away from this video, is that the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Good intentions is not enough. Good deeds does wander. All right. And I want you guys to make sure that when you're looking at these different political leaders, that you don't look at them with these like rose-colored lenses, through these rose-colored lenses, and really look into why they do the things that they do, whether they're Democratic or Republican. And as I continue to do this series, it's going to be really interesting seeing how Jasmine Crockett unravels in the Senate race, and seeing if Texans will go for her or won't. We'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being invested in the stories and the issues that I have to share. You know, you guys are feel free to reach out to me personally. I know that I share my email. You can also reach out to me on Facebook through my This Is Her America channel. Just love you guys so much. And also think about ways, different, like a name that we can call each other's. For my This Is Her America family, like think of like a name we can call each other, like Her Americans, something like, you know how Beyonce has Beehive and Justin Bieber has Believers. Like think of something in that like respect, but something that's very politically relevant. And so if you have any suggestions, I don't want to go with Her Americans because it's just so basic, but if you guys have any suggestions, please let me know. Feel free to comment. And if this video really resonate with you, give it a like, share this video, and even subscribe to my channel. And I love you guys. I love that you guys are invested, and I can't wait for what the future unfolds. And I have a feeling 2026 is gonna come with some great surprises. 2025 really gave me some gut punches, and I wrote down in a journal somewhere that in 2026 I'm gonna be doing the gut punches. Yeah. So with that being said, we'll always remember, this is her time. This is her America. Love you all. I'll see you next time. Back again. Wow, you're amazing. Please be sure to give today's episode a thumbs up and leave a comment. If you're new here, subscribe so you can stay tuned for more episodes. Want to get to know me a little bit more? You should follow me on social media. I provide the links to all my social media platforms in the description of each podcast episode. Did today really resonated with you? Then you'll even love my deeper dives on my Substack. So please be sure to check it out when you can. Always remember, stay rooted in truth, stand firm in grace. And always remember, this is her time, this is her America. Yours truly,